Welcome to the Serpent Method School of Magic. So, this isn't something that I planned on doing, but with the world how it is and everything struggling in the way that it is, I couldn't sit back and watch it anymore. I knew I had to do something. So, the something that I'm going to do is help women who are struggling with modern manifestation techniques, because a lot of the stuff that you see out there today is absolute total bullshit. And honestly, I'm just sick of watching women struggle, and now is the time for them to take back their power completely and totally. So what the Serpent Method is manifesting with divine feminine energy. It's manifesting with your shadow. And it's manifesting, most importantly, as quickly as fucking possible. When it comes to all of the shit that these woo-woo, new age spiritualists talk about, they tell you things that couldn't work, sure, but they're just a small piece of the puzzle. So what ends up happening is you do affirmation after affirmation after affirmation after affirmation, and you're not seeing the results and you don't understand why. Well, that's because you're doing a crumb when you could be doing the whole pie. And who I'm really making this for, who the Serpent Method is really for, are those who struggle with love and light manifesting. It's people who were born in the shadow or who decided to go into the shadows and who have way more depth to their soul now than just love and light. So love and light doesn't work for them. They need more. They need the whole fucking thing. When you look at the yin and yang symbol, it's white and it's black. And it's intertwined. And it's cyclical. When you have all of that within you, you can't just utilize half and expect to get results. It's like trying to do something with one arm tied behind your back. It's silly. And it's just not doable. I also know that people who struggle getting out of their own head have a hard time manifesting. When it comes to modern manifestation techniques, one of the first things you're told is visualize, 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 visualize. Well, what if you struggle with visualizing? There's so many women out there who think that they can't manifest because they can't visualize. Or even worse, they have intrusive thoughts when they try to visualize, and then they're scared, oh no, I'm going to manifest something bad and terrible because of my intrusive thoughts. The list goes on and on and on and on. But people who are very head focused, head centered, they're very of the mind, they're very cerebral, they struggle with modern manifestation techniques. And I'm tired of seeing it because there's a better way. And the Serpent Method is also for those who are ready to utilize their divine feminine, especially those with a wounded feminine, those who came from struggle around the feminine, those who find themselves overly masculine, those who can't let go of those overly masculine qualities and tendencies, those who are afraid of the feminine, those who have negative experiences with the feminine, those who don't even like and are grossed out by the term feminine, or they view it as lesser than. I can teach you how to not only love your femininity, but use it to get everything you've ever wanted. And this is also coming from someone who is just that. I was raised by my father. I had nothing but masculine energy, and I had to claw my way out of that pit. And I can teach you how. Because, like it or not, you need the feminine energy to manifest. And if you only have masculine, again, you only have half of the puzzle. So I keep talking about what doesn't work, modern manifestation techniques. What does? Magic. And before you start laughing, I need you to really think about it. Modern manifestation techniques are new. They're new. 369, 369 journal, lucky girl syndrome. That's all new age. But what has stood the test of time? I hate to break it to you, but your ancestors had it figured out. They truly did. Why did they do magic? Well, I'll tell you why they did magic. Because magic can be done if you're of the mind, if you're of the head, if you're cerebral. It doesn't matter. You can manifest with magic. If you struggle with visualization, it doesn't matter. The spell will fucking work anyway. There have been spells passed down over hundreds of years because they work. They work. And we'll get into why. We'll get into the science of it, if that's the kind of convincing that you need. But I can tell you right now, this is the truth. So, the whole point of all of this is to teach you how to change your reality based on principles that have worked for thousands of years. Because your mind can't fight history. Why is this important? Well, it's time for the feminine to gain power back, to gain its power again. It's been a dark 2,000 years under the Abrahamic religions. It's been dark since leaving the goddess. It's been dark, but we're coming out of that darkness now. And so, a lot of power is going to be handed to the feminine. You have to learn how to wield it. You have to learn how to step into that power. You can't be afraid of power. You can't wish that it doesn't exist. You have to be the positive force that wields power. Like it or not, when you have a baby inside your womb, you have power over that child. Power exists in this world. You can't get away from it. It's part of the intrinsic nature of the reality that we're currently in, this universe of duality that we're experiencing at this very moment. Power is a part of it. Now, when the masculine reigned, that power was used widely negatively, as you know, as you can see around you. And so now it's going to be very important that all of the damage that was done to the feminine during this time does not play out in her ability to rule. You don't want to be ruling from a wounded feminine. You want to be ruling from your true power. And you can, and you have the ability to do that. And you have so much power that you can actually change the entirety of your reality. You can make it anything you desire. So, what will we go over? Ceremonial magic, high magic, chaos magic, deity magic, folk magic, mainstream manifestation, quantum physics. They're all one and the same. We'll go over all of them. We'll pull from all of them. I'll show you how they're all connected and how you, based on your unique gifts, your intuition, your insight, your feminine magic will find exactly what calls to you. You will find the deities that call to you. You will find the type of magic that calls to you. You will find the elements that call to you and that you work the best with. Because I can tell you right now, there are some women who do fire magic, and oh my fucking god, they can change the world in a moment. There's also women who do earth magic, and holy shit, can they move mountains. You'll find exactly what you should be doing. We're gonna go over it all. But because I like to get straight to the point, let's also talk about the big kahuna, the crux of it all, the thing that you ultimately need to work on, because once you improve this, everything else falls into place. Every single thing, because you are everything all at once. And that's self-love. Which I know might seem fucking easy, and I know might seem fucking simple, but I'm telling you, coming from a witch of generations, self-love is the entire fucking thing. Now we're going to utilize magic. We're going to utilize ritual. We're going to utilize connecting with the divine feminine. And we're going to use that ultimately to just enhance our self-love. And as we do, we will change the reality around us. We can change our fucking job. We can change our relationship. We can bring in whatever we desire. And the more you love yourself, the more you can bring in. Ask yourself, why do some chicks have it so easy? It's like everything just falls into place for them, and they're so cocky about it. And you're so humble. You're so humble, but things just don't fall into place for you. And you think, what the fuck? How is that fair? It's not fair. It is fair. They have it figured out. Whether they figured it out on their own or they just set it up to spawn into this reality on easy mode, it doesn't matter. They have it figured out. They love themselves. So the world and the universe loves them back. And you might think, oh, I've worked on my confidence. I feel pretty good about myself now. You have shame. You have shame hidden in there, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have found this. You wouldn't have stumbled across it. You have shit that you're still working on. And that's because, most likely, if you're here listening to this, you decided not to spawn on easy mode. You decided to spawn on legendary mode. This is a quote that I just love. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. And we're going to work on that. And we're going to teach you how to do that. And once you do, oh my god, the world is going to open up for you. Like a beautiful flower. And because you spawned on legendary mode, you are an expert in the shadow. You were either born in the shadow or you chose to go exploring through the shadow at some point in your life. You might not think you chose it. You might think it was thrust upon you. But either way, if you have experienced the shadow, it's because you fucking chose to. Because life is your extreme sport. You do this shit on extra hard because that's how you like it. So I'm going to teach you why you did that, because I'll tell you a little secret. when you play this shit on Legendary, when you decide to spawn into the shadow instead of a castle right away, you are doing nothing but garnering more and more power. And the key is that once you get to a certain level, that little treasure chest unlocks. And you have access to things that you could only dream of. You have access to changing the world at your will. So, I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. Because you are the divine creator. And you just love a fucking challenge. And tell me that doesn't sound like you. Tell me it doesn't sound like you. That you wouldn't be up in the spirit realm going, make it a little fucking harder. I want this one to hurt. Because after all, it's basically just fun. Alright, well, that's my little introduction. And with the next, well, I guess first episode, we'll start to get into everything you need to know to actually change your reality. Goodbye.